Ms. Randall was instrumental in that, and I know that she counted on Lily to get some things done. So, as her president for the National Art Honor Society Club, I'm going to turn it over to Lily.
I just want to start by thanking everyone for coming. Ms. Randall loved all of her students so much, and I feel like it's almost hard to put into words how devoted she was to art and to her students. I mean, like, when you think of a teacher, you think of someone who's supposed to be kind and patient and devoted. And Miss Randall filled out checked every box in that like requirement, I guess. She had the kind of patience where even if the whole room was talking over her, she would just sit there and wait, because she didn't see the point in rushing people or necessarily yelling to quiet down the classroom. She knew that people would quiet down with her just standing there. And this year with COVID, National Art Honor Society didn't think we'd be able to do very many community projects, which is what our whole club is based on. We do art-based community service. And with so much going on and so little really being able to happen because of COVID, I didn't think nearly anyone was going to get any hours, because, you know, what can you do? You can't go out in the community with COVID going on and just face paint like we normally would. And Ms. Randall actively searched out ways for us to get involved and stay within community, like in COVID restrictions. And I really didn't think we were gonna have meetings or anything. And she was on it. She was like on it all the time. We always had something to do, whether that was painting canvases for Ms. Vassar or touching up the bathroom stalls, putting on clear coats and stuff like that. Everyone had something to do, regardless of what we thought we would be able to do. And I just remember so many times where I really didn't think we would be able to do anything. And I'd walk into Ms. Randall's room and be like, hey, I don't know what we're gonna do for this week's meeting. Should we postpone it? She'd be like, no, I talked to so-and-so, or I talked to this person, and I think we can do this, or I think we can do that. And it was someone who was not only reliable, but just so, I don't want to say ambitious, because it wasn't necessarily ambitious, it was just determined to make things work, even when, you know, you didn't think it was possible. And she was always smiling and was just so genuinely kind to everyone. I don't think I've ever interacted with a teacher who was so overwhelmingly positive and just inviting to students. And I know for a lot of people, she may have just been like the art teacher, and so it's an elective class, and so you don't really think about the support that an art teacher offers. But for a lot of artists, and for a lot of just people who maybe just took the class to take the class, Ms. Randall was someone you could talk to regardless of what it was about. She was like a safe zone, if you will. And I feel like it's important to remember her that way, because all of her hard work for students, I think, is just incredible, you know? And now that we know that she was struggling so much, I think it allows us to further appreciate what she did for all of us. And I just feel like it's really important to remember that, so.
All right, is there anyone else? I know some people came today specifically. If they feel so inclined, don't want to put anybody on the spot. Lily wanted to open the floor to anybody that might want to come forward and maybe say something. If not, I have something to close us with. Do keep Emily's family in your thoughts and prayers. Tomorrow they hold a visitation for their friends and family, and then there are several teachers, staff are going down to represent Lafayette High School, and then on Saturday there is a private family burial that is occurring, so again, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Anyone else that would like to say anything? Just come on down, Ethan, that's fine. We'll get in line. If you'd like to say something, just Go ahead and make your way down. We're gonna close again with a video.
So, Miss Randall, she was my art teacher. I had her for all 3 of my art classes. And art is my big passion. So, having a teacher as sweet as she was, she was one of the sweetest teachers. And she always cared about her students. She always wanted to know how your day was, and if it was going bad, what she could do about it. And she didn't care whether you were greatly skilled in art. She just wanted you to put your heart into it. She wanted you to be proud of what you could do. She just wanted you to be happy and do what you wanted to do. She didn't want you to be somebody you didn't want to be. She cared about all of her students again. She cared about how you felt mentally, physically. And if you didn't feel good, she just wanted you to, chill out or do something to take your mind off of it until you felt better. Until you felt like you could do something. She loved all of her students greatly. And I'll let you know, you never know how someone around you is feeling. No matter how happy they may seem. So, just please let your friends know that you care about them.
I think that this shows a lot of what she did for other people. Not only was she a loving person, she was loving inside of the classroom and out. A lot of the time when you have a teacher, you really just have that teacher-student relationship. But with her, it was completely different. With her, it was more of a friendship. Personally, I had her all of the years she was here. When I took art class, I really started it kind of as a way to express myself, as all of my fellow artists in here know. And I really just kind of took it, because chorus is my main passion, but I took it as kind of a creative outlet as well. But she made it more than an art class. She made it fun. She made it something that you would look forward to all day. You would end a project and you would just not want to end the project at the end of the day. You would want to sit in that classroom for hours and hours to finish your work. And I think that she created that environment along with putting up with the students that just took art just to take it, just as an easy A. And I think that that is incredible, because a lot of the times teachers do lose their patience and they get frustrated with students that don't have the passion for the class. But she really didn't care. She wanted to help everyone find their creative outlet inside of them, and help them project that out to the world and show everybody that they were special. And that's something that I've wanted to do for people my entire life. I've wanted to be that sunshine, as I refer to her. I wanted to help as many people as it reads. Blessed are the weird people, the poets, the misfits, the artists, the writers and music makers, the dreamers, and the outsiders, for they force us to see the world differently. And I think blessed are the weird people fits everyone in this room. I don't care if you're an athlete, if you're SGA president. I don't care what background you come from. You have a little bit of weird in you, okay? Admit it. And she took pride in that, and she helped her students take pride in that. And that is something special that not a lot of people carry with them. For me, she was a mentor. She was someone that I looked up to, someone I wanted to be exactly like. You know. But one thing I want you to take from this, if you take anything at all, no matter how happy a person seems, they have their own struggles, okay? You can come to school smiling every day, but nobody knows what goes on at your house. Nobody knows what goes on inside your head, the battles you fight. So don't be afraid to ask for help. If any of you need anybody to talk to, I don't care if I know you or not, you can come to me, okay? Because that's what I want to do. I want to make an impact on someone's life. And I'm sure many other people in this room would want to do the same. So if any of you need anybody to talk to, if you need anybody to confide in, your secrets are safe with me and Ms. Stoltz. She's a wonderful principal. And I think that everyone needs to realize that your words are taken seriously, your actions are taken seriously. And Ms. Randall knew that we loved her. I know that for a fact. She knew that she had a family here at LHS, and I really am struggling and grieving for her family and her friends. And I just wanted to let y'all know, like, the kind of impact that she had. I know if you didn't have her as a teacher personally, you might not know, but she really did change the world in a way. So, and you can do that too. Just have faith in yourself and keep on pushing like she would have wanted you to.
I didn't have Miss Randall, but I always saw her in the hallways, and it's just really opened up my eyes to find out that you really don't know every side of one person, and it's just there's things that you can do to help you, but at the end of the day, that grief is still going to be there, and the worst time. I had scriptures that I was looking at, and I can't find them this morning. That was talking about this, and the whole reason behind I don't know the whole reason why she did it and everything, but it's just I don't know how to word it. It's just different to not open up to people. She'd always have a smile walking down the hall, and she always asked me how my day was going, and just the nicest person I've met. That's about all I have, but you just really don't know what's going to go on. So if you need help, there's things that you can do to help them, but at the end of the day, they're still going to feel like there's nothing that you can do for them. So.
I'm new here, and when I first got here, I felt like I wasn't going to fit in, having a different background than a lot of people. Me and Miss Randall had a very personal friendship. She helped me when I was losing my baby, and I always felt like I could open up to her, and she would always be there, and she would always have a smile on her face, and it helped me, like, feel like I could actually make it, even though I lost one thing that I thought was keeping me going. And I just really feel like a lot of people don't see that not everybody that smiles is okay. Not everybody that seems happy is happy. There's a lot more that goes on, and you just always need to check on your friends. That's all I have.
I didn't know Miss Randall that well personally. I never took her class. I've never been artistic. I never really thought to take art class. But it's almost every day I would see her in the hallways, and just seeing her smile, that would just it would warm my heart, and it would make my day. I never really talked to her that much, talked to her that well. She just seemed like the nicest lady that you could talk just want everyone here to know that here at LHS, everyone here is family. So if you ever feel that you're feeling down, just look for someone to talk to. Everyone here is your family. Everyone here is your friend. So, yeah.
If you knew Miss Randall, you would know that she always tried to give comfort to everybody, no matter who you were, and no matter if you were a football player or a chorus kid. She always had a safe place in her classroom. She worked really hard to give all students comfort. If you had her class, you would know you're not allowed to eat food at your desk because art supplies has chemicals in it. So she gave you a place in front of the classroom with like comfy chairs and tables for you to eat your snacks. She didn't just see you for who you were, she also saw you for who you would become. She gave me one of my biggest commissions, found it for me because she knew that I was capable. And she was always there to talk to.
I've never ever been good at public speaking or anything at all, but I've never been artistic. I mean, I sing, but there's never been really anything. There's always been art, but I needed an extra class. But I walked in there and my whole outlook on life and people changed because Miss Randall is one of the best people that I knew. She talked to me, she accepted all of my art, even if it wasn't good. And she's just a really great person and someone that you were very lucky if you ever even got to look at. She is like sunshine, like some people say, but I don't know. She always made me feel comfortable and made me feel better in myself and better in being just me around other people who I had never even met before. So she just really helped my social skills, I guess.
And Miss Randall, for all 3 years she was here. And the first time I met her, first thing I noticed was her smile. I'm like, she's gonna be a really good teacher this year. I'm gonna click with her very much. She was just that type of person who, as soon as she walked into the room, no matter how you were feeling, she just brightened up your day. And I know that I've had times in class where I didn't feel like I was good enough, and I think she was, I'm not gonna say the only person, but she was one of the teachers who made me feel like I was enough. She made me confident in my art when I wasn't confident at all. It's probably one of my favorite teachers here. And she wasn't just a teacher, she was more like an older sister that you could go to whenever you were feeling upset or when you were angry or even if you were just happy. And I never thought once while she was here that she could have been sad because she was just so happy every single day. It really hurt when they told us that she died. Because she was kind of like a safe space for a lot of students. she was safe. It felt like you could go to her about anything. Yeah.
So I only had one of Miss Randall's art classes, but I was in art club. And even though we did do projects, it was more of a support group. we had this whole inside joke about cheese fries. And I just want to think about, you know, the good memories that we had with her. And probably wasn't a good idea, but when we were in art club, we used to get on the tables and we would dance with each other. So it was always just a really good time.
Sorry, Mr. Brown.
And we painted a mural that was, it was the scene from the Toy Story 4 movie, and we all joked that we could not listen to You Got a Friend in Me or anything to do with Toy Story because we were just tired of it. And we used to, she had this little treasure box, and we used to get little rings or candy out of it. And she just made her classroom and her club just the most warm environment. And I think that, if anything, that we should, you know, remember her for how warm and bright that she was, you know, because she really was. And she was a light for all of us, I think. So.
Before, yeah, you can.
So I never had an art class. I didn't know her personally. There's a lot of you, so I'm really nervous. I didn't know her as a person. I'd never had her as a teacher. Taking an art class never really crossed my mind, but a few weeks before she passed, I received a suicide note from someone very near and dear to my heart. They didn't go through with it, thankfully, but I was very frustrated and I was sad and I was dealing with a lot of anger and emotions from that note because I was helpless and I played a huge role in this person's life and I felt like I couldn't do anything. So I was working for Pennies for Patients, going around knocking on doors, begging you guys for change like someone on the side of the road, and I had to go to Miss Randall's class and the smile on her face when she opened the door. I seen her one time, I spoke to her one time my entire life, and this woman changed my life with a smile. I have struggled with depression for 4 years now, and I almost lost someone to suicide, and this woman's smile changed the way that I looked at things. And just seeing her one time for 5 minutes out of a 24-hour day made me want to get better, made me want to seek hope, made me help my friend who needed help get the help that they needed. So her family needed to know that one thing that she done changed one person's life. But what I want you to get from this is everybody up here has said it. What you do matters, but literally something as simple as your smile will change someone's day. And you don't know what your peers are going through. You don't know who's walking through this hallway thinking that today is the last day they can take. So from one person to another, remember that something as small as your smile can change their life.
All I just wanted to say was, she didn't deserve death at this age. She really didn't. And yesterday I accidentally broke a record. But one of the teachers said that Miss Randall, I thought Miss Randall probably would not like me after that, probably kill me. But one of the teachers said that she'll probably just accept it as just as an accident. And that made me feel a little bit better. And I have a rough path in my life right now sometimes. But She understood me, and she just to echo what everybody else said. What can I say? Has not been said. We're all family right here. / friends.
So I didn't have Miss Randall's class. I'm not artistic or whatever. I have had art in the past though. It's pretty good. But my younger sister, Annie, she's online and she's doing that. And I believe it was her third, she has Miss Randall third block, and I leave after third block. So I'm never at home when she has her class. But I didn't notice at the time that almost every day she had something to say about Miss Randall. Like how she greeted the class, how her lesson plan was always there. I didn't think of anything of it at the time because, why would you? She's a good teacher, obviously, but beyond that, nothing else. And I remember I was in the parking lot one day. I was walking out to leave, and I don't know if she may not have been looking or something, but I walked out into the street to look both ways, and I saw her car, and it didn't. And I thought it was going to stop, but I didn't. And I stepped out on the street, and I heard she brakes, and she looks horrified, like, and she's a good 10 feet away from me, so I would have been fine. But she looks like she just saw a ghost or something. Yeah. So yeah, that was probably my most memorable time with her. My voice is getting shaky because death at any time is not natural. We as humans were not meant to die. I lost my cousin in deployment. We still don't know how he died. And what I would like to say has already been said by people who knew Miss Randall better than I have. It sounds really cheesy, but we are a family of Lafayette. Sometimes it's hard to believe that but I don't know. Thank y'all for coming.
All right, guys. One of the things that was on a poster, Miss Randall's said, "You are loved." And I believe that has been a resounding message. But the message I've heard is we are a family, and I hope you truly feel that way. Yes, we've got structure. Yes, we have standards to teach, but if you need somebody, you know that somebody is here, whether that's a counselor, a PIT crew leader, guidance counselor, a social worker, cafeteria leader, bus driver, or your principal. We are here, okay? So my message to you before we play the video, if you can just bow your head and close your eyes. If you are feeling frightened about what comes next, don't be. Sometimes we have to learn to embrace the uncertainty. Allow it to lead you to beautiful places. Be brave as it challenges you to exercise both your heart and your mind as you begin to create your own pathway towards happiness. Don't waste time with regret. Spin and dance wildly into your next action. Remember to enjoy the present, because each moment as it comes, you'll never get another one quite like it. And if you should ever look up and find yourself lost, simply take a breath and start over. Retrace your steps and go back to the purest place in your heart. That is where your hope lives. And you will always find your way again if you hope. Okay, we're gonna turn the lights down, show the video. Miss Emily Randall, the chef of watercolors. Lights.
Welcome to Mrs. Randall's art class, where I will be showing you how to make watercolor paints like we did back in old Napoli. Some things you will be needing: corn syrup, white vinegar, baking soda, cornstarch, and some food coloring. Some other things you will be needing: a half teaspoon and a 1 tablespoon, a bowl for mixing, and some spoons for stirring. Our first step will be to take 2 tablespoons of the baking soda, now I will take the same amount of the cornstarch, 2 tablespoons into the bowl. Now I will also be adding 2 tablespoons of the vinegar. This is when things will get very fizzy. Now I'm going to mix it up like they do in Sicily. As you see, I have stirred the mixture, and now I will be adding the corn syrup. This is where I take my half teaspoon, and I will put the syrup into the half teaspoon, and I will be adding it to the mixture. Now we are to the fun part, children. We will be pouring the mixtures into cups and adding our colors. First, I would like to make the red. The hard part is that you have to let it dry for 24 hours before you can use it like paint. If you have a couple of different colors, you can even do some of the mixing. I will be adding a drop of blue and a drop of the yellow. Oops, that was actually green and yellow. This is making an interesting shade of green. After you have waited for 24 hours, you can use these paints like the normal watercolors you would get from the store. Get your paintbrush wet and dip it in the colors and spread it along your paper. Thanks for watching and have fun! Now I will be making the glue, I think. Oops, that was the green pen. It's really hard to tell. Just like the mac and cheese my mother used to make. Go. Sorry, I just forgot the accent for a second. Like, wait.
All right, so give me your best Emily Randall smile. I told this story once to a couple of the kids. When I first met her, she came from Covenant College. She didn't have a clue about teaching. But she got here and she said she had made amazing friends and had found a family. When I would see her in the hallway, she would always smile real big. And so when she smiles real big, what do her eyes do? They shut. So one day I said, Emily, can you even see me when I'm walking down the hall? And she said, yes, I can, Miss Stoltz, you glow. I don't know what that means. Maybe that means I'm loud, not sure. But I took it as a compliment because everything that Miss Randall said was to build people up. Please remember that you're loved. I appreciate your special time today. And remember that you matter. What you say and how you treat people matters. So be like Miss Randall. Okay? Love you guys. Y'all head back to class. We do have people here in case you need to speak to somebody. Stay here in the building. We will get you hooked up with somebody. Thank you for your time. Remember, although we have COVID and social